we go. Strap in, tap in.
You swipe through short-form video feeds and see what feels like spontaneous culture. Millions of people reacting to the same streamer, laughing at the same joke, participating in the exact same digital moment. But behind that glass sits an industrialized machine. The modern internet relies on a cynical but highly effective operating principle. Organic discovery no longer dictates what becomes popular. Digital marketing agencies and independent creators now practice trend simulation. They pay decentralized global networks of thousands of freelance video editors, known as clippers, to chop live broadcasts into hyper-optimized fragments and flood social media algorithms. This coordination manufactures the exact illusion of a cultural consensus. This structural shift isolated Twitch. For a decade, the platform monopolized live broadcasting by offering multi-hour passive desktop entertainment. Modern consumers no longer seek out 6-hour streams.
Let me pause it just because it's saying a lot. I was like, I realized how dense this is. I think because I watched this, it gets into its bag so much, it basically fries its own circuit and it like glitches and then it gets back to it. But like it's spitting on this. It's saying some, because it's indexed from over 90 different sources on this subject, on the clipping industry, its impact on like people's actual view of where content is, because it's not organic anymore. You can have bots boost any kind of subject you want, and then that brings engagement and attention to everything. It's basically what MAG is using. It's a new age form of subterfuge that's crazy. That's very, very effective.
They want fragmented, high-tension highlights pushed directly to their mobile devices. Legacy platforms are bleeding active users, while astroturfed campaigns dictate the cultural timeline. To survive in this ecosystem, a creator has to stop relying on obsolete discovery mechanisms and build their own leverage. Operating a high-definition, low-latency live video network at a global scale carries crushing infrastructure costs. In early 2024, Twitch entirely exited South Korea. Local internet service providers charged outbound traffic fees scaling 10 times higher than standard global markets, exposing the lethal vulnerability of the massive live video bandwidth model.
Yeah.
But Twitch's financial losses are deeply...
So that's the issue, is the bandwidth cost to host this. Like for me to be able to stream this right now, like I'm on Twitch, so I'm giving an indictment on where Twitch is and where live streaming is. So please understand, I'm on the platform, giving it is just due, but it's just the reality of where things are going. So follow me, y'all. The amount of money, and it's going to talk about it. It gets into really good detail about why Twitch can't make money. Like the amount it costs to host all this bandwidth, they basically are at a net loss. So
entangled with the internal corporate ledger of its parent company. Amazon took Twitch's proprietary streaming architecture and packaged it into a highly profitable enterprise product called AWS Interactive Video Service. The developers on Twitch's payroll build and maintain this technology. However, Amazon forces the Twitch division to pay AWS to use those very same servers to host the consumer website. This diagram illustrates the internal transfer pricing loop. User revenue enters the consumer platform, but massive bandwidth penalties siphon the capital away. Amazon attributes the resulting profit directly to AWS.
So basically, all the money that Twitch makes from subscriptions, ads, all of that, they got to pay back to the bandwidth, to Big Daddy Bandwidth, aka Amazon. So Twitch doesn't ever really make money. So
while the Twitch division absorbs the massive operational debt, the platform actively cuts creator revenue splits and executes mass layoffs under the guise of insolvency. The consumer site operates as a subsidized testing ground for enterprise cloud dominance. This corporate infrastructure heavily prioritized advertiser safety. For years, the platform's legacy culture centered around desktop PC gaming, structured debates, and a highly sanitized, strictly moderated approach to audience interaction. By 2020, a distinct cultural vanguard emerged. Rooted heavily in Black Twitter, YouTube culture, and urban comedy, this high-energy demographic...
So this segment is about the evolution of the dominance, like we always do when we step into any space, of the Black community, aka the WL community. The phrase was coined under the Aiden Ross, whatever, because he's the first one to essentially like elevate the WL community, which would be B-Lou and Diaz. That those were the first like of the early streamers, along with Soluminati, a whole bunch of people, but you'll see.
Broadcast chaotic real-life segments, unscripted conflict, and massive celebrity collaborations. This brazen broadcast style inherently clashed with corporate moderation policies. Administrators frequently issued multi-day bans to these creators for language and culturally specific banter that the community deemed entirely normal. A direct competitor named Kick identified as friction and aggressively courted the alienated talent. They offered non-exclusive guarantees. A 95 Kick manages to sustain these massive payouts and server costs because it is not a traditional venture-backed tech startup. The platform is entirely funded and underwritten by EasyGo Group, the Australian corporate empire behind the offshore cryptocurrency.
So this is saying who backs Kick, an Australian offshore. Let's get this. Let's get who is the backing of Kick. We know the backing of Twitch is Amazon, right? So we know that. Daddy Bezos. Who's the backer of Kick? Let's hit that part again.
Backed tech startup. The platform is entirely funded and underwritten by EasyGo Group, the Australian corporate empire behind the offshore cryptocurrency casino Stake.com. The live broadcasting site operates
Offshore cryptocurrency? Like what?
explicitly as a loss leader. Its primary commercial function is to secure an unregulated, creator-friendly ecosystem that continuously acquires new top-of-funnel users for the global gambling operation. Kick's algorithm measures chat velocity, tracking users typing in real time. A dense cluster of participation registers a heat moment, violently spiking visibility. These peaks of unscripted conflict generate the emotional resonance required for short-form virality, harvested immediately by freelance clipping armies. Editors overlay these clips with subtle casino watermarks. They distribute the videos across thousands of meme accounts, completely
Some tea,
bypassing
drink
strict
some
ad
tea.
filters on TikTok and Instagram. The entire structure functions as a highly industrialized, decentralized shadow advertising network wrapped in the branding of a creator sanctuary. Creators often pledge absolute loyalty to a single website. The data shows both major streaming entities exploit the individual broadcast to execute larger corporate mandates, whether subsidizing enterprise cloud servers or fueling offshore sweepstakes loopholes. To survive the coming decade,
So basically, they both are serving and subsidizing the actual content and the things that are being built or created on Twitch aren't even hitting any real bottom line. So it's not doing anything other than just keeping the Twitch platform as a promotional vehicle for Amazon and Amazon products. So it's like that. How is that sustainable as a business model? I don't know. You that's for y'all to think about.
a creator must abandon the role of a platform employee and operate as a decentralized media franchise. This requires relentless multi-platform syndication, a practice defined in the industry as generative engine optimization. The labor of isolating and
So basically, what can you do? Because it starts getting very wordy here. What can you do as a creative to be brand agnostic and platform agnostic? And that's essentially to pretty much be on all of them. That's really simple but easy. You know, that's where multi-streaming comes in. And I'm going to talk about that when we get into some of these clips about where the Black community is going. And this is my own take. So this is like my take along with this research presentation I prepared along with Google Research and Google Gemini. But let's finish it up.
distributing viral segments is actively shifting towards sovereign artificial intelligence. Proprietary models will soon monitor live feeds in real time, instantly identifying heat moments, captioning the dialogue, and deploying optimized vertical edits without human intervention. The first rule of automation
Yeah, basically it's saying like there's going to be auto bot clippers, which I think is already happening, but the clipper economy, which we're going to talk about, which is what has shifted where the popularity and the stickiness, let's say the in people's face of streaming is right now, because it's kind of waning, and we're going to talk about that, is because the clipper economy is in a disarray right now. Kick is the only platform that is currently monetizing clippers. Twitter was doing that, but they stopped that within the last 4 to 5 months. And so they are only allowing for original content to be monetized on the Twitter platform. Kick is the only place that's actually paying clippers. So there's a paradigm where streamers, in order to get more visibility, have to pay really a good amount of money to their clippers in order to push to these social media platforms. And it's just getting less and less effective. So when you can get an entire bot crypto farm army like Kick, you're going to see why Kick is getting the amount of engagement that it's getting.
Autonomy requires a structural reframe. The live broadcast isn't the final product. It serves purely as raw material generation for a much larger, highly targeted clipping machine. The second rule demands a decentralized audience. Relying entirely on a single recommendation algorithm leaves a creator highly vulnerable to instant erasure. You must actively syndicate your exact cultural footprint across multiple networks to insulate your intellectual property from sudden policy changes. The third
basically
rule
you
is
gotta be
ownership
everywhere.
of the distribution mechanism. You must actively fund and control your own network of editors and automated accounts to dictate exactly how your content penetrates the social media saturation. The modern digital landscape closely mirrors Plato's cave. The spontaneous cultural consensus you see on your feed is merely a projection cast by digital marketers with hidden commercial agendas. True leverage belongs entirely to those who stop watching the shadows and take control of the algorithmic projector.
Now I want to get into my anecdotal kind of breakdown. And this is my personal anecdotal breakdown of what I see, where I see this shit going. And I'm going to use some proof farm clips and just show y'all and we'll get into that. Then we get into music. So this is DDG talking about why he's disappointed about how his recent tour just went. Now, DDG is, again, one of the most important Black streamers in the world right now, probably in the top 10, at least in the top, maybe top 5, but definitely top 5, top 10. And this is what he's talking about, why he's moved to Kick.
I started, as I've been streaming these past few months, especially during my tours, when it really like clicked in my brain. I'm like, bro, this tour shit should be way more viral. You feel me? But I noticed like I be seeing more clips from Kick than Twitch these past couple months. And I'm like, what's going on, bro? A lot of streamers get collabs because they get clipped. The average person don't watch streams.
Which is facts. Most people do not watch streams. They get a clip sent to them, or they see it on Shade Room, or only a small percentage of people like me who are actual 24/7 stream watchers. So this is important to note. Important detail to note, y'all.
They see you on the clips every goddamn day. That's all they know. That's all they see. So we just testing it out. We just seeing if it work, and if it do work, if it is a big difference, I need y'all to let me know.
Yeah,
I
so
noticed as
he's already made his transition. We're gonna keep going here. This is the Kick founder talk about why DDG's coming over. The Kick founder talking about what they actually do. So y'all know I'm not bullshitting. Dude on the left is the founder of Kick.
Him going around.
The Australian
Kick,
dude.
I think for at least like I don't know. He's come over completely like just like I know he's multi-streaming, but now he's like fully on Kick. I think that's because of the clipping. Yeah, it's because of the clipping. I believe. Like I think he recognizes like at the end of the day, Kick obviously offers a really great platform. It offers 95.5. It offers Kick partnership is around about 19x Twitch, but it also offers clipping, right? And that's
so you can see during this time in this economy how enticing that is. I'm on Twitch right now. You get 50-50, you know what I'm saying, or worse, split on whatever you make. They say you come over here, you get 95.5, and you're gonna earn more. Like, how is that not going to be enticing to people? Well, the reason was because the platform of Kick was not legitimized up until really this year, where it looks exactly like Twitter. It literally looks exactly like Twitter. You can see all the people I'm following. You can see, like, again, if people go study right now that in the last probably month, 30 days, the amount of downloads of the Kick app on people's phones because of the motion that Kick is getting, because people want more. People are demanding more than just regular. They don't want Disney World bullshit no more. They don't want PG-13. They want fucking rated R. So again, this is the Kick literal CEO saying we pay to boost our visibility. Yeah, Ben talking about him moving over.
You know what I'm saying? And I just want to be taken care of the right way. And now that, you know what I'm saying, the bad bitch
This
on the
Ben
other
talking
side,
about him
she
moving.
like, come over here. Got something for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been over here, but she don't...
Ben is also, and he's catapulted because not only him connecting to Drake, but he's very popular, like Drewski-esque comedian and celebrity and social media influencer. He's been on Twitch for maybe under a year since Streamer University, and he is also in the top 10, probably at least. Streamers saying he is now moving over or transitioning over to Kick. So these are big dominoes. These are big chessboard played pieces.
However which way it go, y'all know we sticking together. SQB, you know we sticking together, man. The shit going on, shit not stopping. But they gotta get this money on, they gotta get this paid. We all ain't finna be no goddamn speed cost not. We gotta get paid now.
The speed costs not.
You know what I'm saying?
He keep it on. He's like, man, Kick is offering that bag. So this is like a PG-13, you got Extra Emily. So this is the numbers of Kick, pretty fairly reasonable. And you got Dean the Great, who is the biggest, most popular streamer in the world right now. So let's watch this in real time, man. This is what people want. They want rated R content. This is rated R raw unhinged, right? Let's switch between rated R raw unhinged, and this is PG-13. This is PG-13. I want you to see where if I was a 13-year-old kid and I've grown up watching Twitch for the last 4 or 5 years, and I see something that actually is getting legitimized,
it looks better just like
that's raw, like my parents won't fuck with, like you're gonna start to pivot to want that. I'm telling y'all where the kids are gonna go, or where they're already going, where the momentum and emotion is going. I'm telling you. Now I love Extra Emily, but these are the top people in the streaming world right now.
Really nice.
Yeah, Hassan is he's an outlier, right? I follow all the top people, bro. I follow all the top people.
In Kentucky.
Right, so right now, this is
and then
Kick.
he literally goes,
I mean, Twitch, now let's look at Kick again, showing y'all where the momentum is going, man. So all they do is drink, get drunk, and do a lot of foolish shenanigans. Again, talking about what people are getting to. This is another important antidote here.
Yo, who is that? I'm not gonna lie, I keep hearing this nigga name.
This Chud the Builder, and where the state of people are on the internet right now.
I don't know
what people
this
really
racist
want.
white guy who just goes and rage baits black people.
Not this.
But we don't know.
Oh, I did see that. He say hard R and shit.
Yeah, hard R.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Chud the Builder, nigga. What's good with you, bro? Chill, bro. Like chill, my nigga. But look though, that's the other way streamer could potentially head.
Yeah.
Streaming could head. You know, like have you seen Clavicular and like
my streaming could where streaming is headed. People want extreme. They want super incel-ish, super again white supremacy coded, toxic, dark. Just that's what people want. That's the times we're in that the powers that be are emanating, are ruminating. So of course that's gonna permeate somehow through the culture. You know, people want that dark shit. They want that seedy underground filthy shit. They want rated R.
These crazy white niggas that just do whatever the fuck they want. It's like the internet is back in a cycle where now it's like niggas on their edgelord shit.
And Max is one of the top streamers as well. He's probably top 4. So again, I'm giving y'all real game from the people who are the top. Max is one of the top 4 streamers in the world, black streamers in the world, period. He's saying this. He
Let me
understands.
just piss people off because everyone's so
People going edgelord. That was the word I'm looking for. People are going edgelord. People are going, I want to be edgy. Kind of bullshit that the Shay is on now that he's on Kick. This is the edgelord shit that people are doing. You know, again, think of Jackass, think of like all of that, but like in this space, this is unacceptable. This is some bullshit right here, but I want y'all to see this.
Yeah, that's gross.
It was me. All right, y'all gotta be nice, okay, to Polly, cause I'ma f y'all up, okay?
Are you her brother?
All right, I'ma up. I'm dead ass. Don't
Him saying he's gonna up little girls, like how's that acceptable in any way? You say, hey, I'm gonna tell your mom, I'm gonna get somebody, but this is
all right, y'all be cool, all right?
all for stream, all
Okay,
for the
bet,
clout.
bet. Y'all be good. High five. All right, bet.
So again, that's just a little sample, but this dude has been canceled so many times he can't be canceled. So like that clip don't really mean nothing. But anyway, let's get back to this.
used to seeing like people be PR trained. So it could go in that way where it's like shit.
Yeah, no
whoever's
more
the
PR
biggest
trained.
streamer
People
who's
don't want
winning
no
is the
more
niggas
PR
who's
trained.
willing to do the most edgy shit that no one else is willing to do, which is why Clavicular blew up.
Right.
Niggas snorting lines and just doing that
Why
shit.
Dean the Great is
Feel me?
blowing up
Do you
from
feel
getting
that
punched
pressure
in
to
the
keep having
face,
to, like, push the
being
bar?
drunk and
I feel
having
like your lane has never
chicks
been
showing
done, and you're
almost
one of one. And I
butthole
feel like you
and all
don't have
that.
to take it to the levels that they have to, but you may feel otherwise because you're actually in it. Like, damn, I gotta keep going and going because you know people might get bored, people might get tired. Like, I gotta do some crazy shit now to keep them entertained.
Yeah, how do you
feel that
stay on top?
Honestly, bro, like I feel like for me personally, I don't really see myself like I don't really compare myself to someone like him, Clavicular, because I feel like we just do much different things.
Right.
That's the thing with streaming. Anyone can stream and you can be in completely different lanes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the one
So,
cool thing. There are different lanes.
Nah,
Yeah.
like I really don't feel the need to like, oh, I gotta always top myself, but I definitely do look at this shit as like, how can I continue to innovate and just grow and make this better? Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit will die if people are not trying to innovate this.
Yeah, that's what I mean too. Is Kick is providing people with a fresh alternative, like a fresh vibe. You know what I mean?
What you finna switch
Kick.
over?
Kick.
Oh, you finna go to Kick?
I mean, I ain't saying, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you ain't saying that. We kicking it though.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kicking it. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
trying to
Right,
pretend
right,
like he's
right.
not alluding to it,
Right.
but
Chilling, we playing.
You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
talking about?
so I'm gonna give y'all my prediction for 2027, where this shit is going. Rakai, who is also probably in the top 3, who comes from the Kai tree, top 3 most important popular streamers in the world. Top 4, you got Speed, you got Kai, then you got black streamers. You got Rakai, DDG. The Shay's already moved over, so I didn't even show a clip. Well, I just showed him being an asshole and a weirdo. Once Rakai comes over from Twitch, or he's going to multi-stream, and I think it's going to happen once he turns 18. Once he turns 18, it'll be less, PR issues for him to be more extreme. Just mark my words. That's going to happen by the end of the summer or definitely by the end of this year. Rakai is going to multi-stream on Kick. As that happens, that's more than now 50, 60% or more of the top black streamers are on Kick now. You could never say that a year ago, 2 years ago. That's what I mean about the shift. This is what I mean about the sea change. That's what I mean about people who are paying attention. So I need y'all to understand why Kick is becoming a viable platform. It looks pretty much just like Twitch.
Talentless.
Like, it looks just like Twitch. It's just got MAGA-esque vibes. It's fueled by MAGA, okay? It's important to understand where this culture is going.